Unidentified object lands deep inside Poland, causing explosion as Russia launches deadly, Ukraine-wide attack. Kiev. An unidentified object crashed and caused an explosion about 90 kilometers, 55 miles, into Polish territory early Thursday, local authorities said, as Russia launched deadly long-range attacks across Ukraine. Poland had earlier reported scrambling fighter jets in response to Russia's attack on Ukraine, which hit large swathes of the country and killed at least 8 people, including children, and left several people trapped under rubble. The object crashed in an undeveloped area near the village of Tarnawa-Kolonia in Lublin province, Poland's army said. Polish police said residents reported hearing a powerful blast. During the Russian massive missile attack on western Ukraine, a violation of Polish airspace occurred, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said in a post to X. A government spokesperson said Tusk was on his way to the crash site. Separately, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha said a Russian cruise missile had crossed into Poland as part of Russia's massive strike against Ukraine, in a post to X. It was not clear if Sybiha was referring to the unidentified object which crashed in Lublin. Russia's Ministry of Defense said it carried out a massive strike using long-range precision weapons from land, air, and sea, as well as attack drones on military sites across Ukraine, in a statement posted to Telegram Thursday. Poland's army said the country's air defenses observed at least a dozen missiles over western Ukraine, which posed a potential threat to Polish airspace. It is not yet clear if the unidentified object that crashed in Poland was a Russian missile. But any potential Russian attack so deep into a NATO member's territory would risk being perceived as an escalation in Moscow's years-long war on Ukraine. CNN has reached out to NATO for comment. Russia's overnight assault on Ukraine follows a visit by President Volodymyr Zelensky to the White House Tuesday, where he asked President Donald Trump to provide Ukraine with additional air defense systems. The attack damaged or destroyed dozens of homes, businesses, and infrastructure facilities, Zelensky said on Telegram Thursday, and used more than 70 missiles and over 280 attack drones. Ukraine intercepted more than 260 drones, according to Zelensky, in what he said was a commendable feat given a critical shortage of air defense missiles from our partners. On his way home on Wednesday, Zelensky stopped in the Polish city of Lublin, not far from the site of the next day's crash, to meet with Tusk. The two leaders discussed the outcomes of Zelensky's visit to the United States and the security of Poland, Ukraine, and all of Europe, according to a post to X by Tusk. Poland has routinely scrambled jets in response to Russian attacks on western Ukraine, though they have rarely entered its territory. NATO fighter jets shot down multiple Russian drones that violated Polish airspace last September, denouncing Moscow for absolutely dangerous behavior. In November 2022, 2 people were killed after a Ukrainian air defense missile unintentionally landed in the Polish village of Przywado, about 4 miles, 6.4 kilometers, west of the border. Deadly month for Ukraine. The attacks, which come as Ukraine has seen its heaviest number of civilian casualties in 1 month since Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, killed at least 1 person in the capital Kiev, and another person in Poltava region, central Ukraine, according to local authorities. Videos posted on social media showed families sheltering in crowded Kiev metro stations, some bedding down on the floor beneath blankets or inside small tents. In the village of Radushn, near the southern Ukrainian city of Kryvyi Rih, parents and 3 children were killed after a ballistic missile blew a family home into smithereens, Zelensky said. 2 more children were pulled alive from the rubble, he added. 2 girls, aged 5 and 12, were among the 3 children killed, Alexander Vilkel, head of the city's military administration, said on Telegram, calling it a dark night. Graphic video from Radushn showed bodies strewn amid the rubble of a shattered building, with fires still burning. 2 unseen women could be heard speaking. "We've pulled 1 child out. There are still some lying over there," one said. "There are children here. There are many children," the other said. Related article. In this photo provided by the Ukrainian Presidential Press Office, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, left, sits with Laura Loomer for an interview in Kiev, Ukraine, on July 23. In this photo provided by the Ukrainian Presidential Press Office, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, left, sits with Laura Loomer for an interview in Kiev, Ukraine, on July 23. Ukrainian Presidential Press Office/AP. After being bamboozled by Russian propaganda, Laura Loomer says she's all in for Ukraine. 5-minute read. Rescue workers were also trying to save people trapped under rubble after an attack on a residential building in Lviv, Zelensky said. Dozens across the country were wounded. Russian warehouse on fire. Also on Thursday, a warehouse for the Russian retailer Wildberries caught fire in the western city of Penza after a Ukrainian drone attack, Regional Governor Oleg Melnichenko said on Telegram. One person was wounded and about 200 people were evacuated from the site, Melnichenko said. Ukraine has repeatedly targeted Wildberries distribution centers, Russia's Amazon equivalent, bringing Moscow's war even closer to home by disrupting the lives and livelihoods of ordinary Russians. Kyiv has claimed the Wildberries facilities are legitimate military targets because they supply Russia's frontline troops in Ukraine, which Moscow denies. This story has been updated with additional developments. Russia says it's just another warehouse. Ukraine says it's a military target. But what if the real battlefield is no longer the front lines, it's everyday life inside Russia? That's exactly what's happening now. Ukraine has reportedly targeted distribution centers belonging to Wildberries, the company often called Russia's version of Amazon. And if you're wondering why a shopping warehouse would end up in the middle of a war, that's where this story takes a surprising turn. According to Kyiv, these facilities aren't just shipping everyday packages. Ukraine claims they're helping supply Russian troops fighting on the front lines. If that's true, those warehouses become military targets under Ukraine's strategy. But Moscow completely rejects that claim. Russia insists these are civilian logistics centers, serving ordinary customers across the country. And from the Russian perspective, attacks like these don't just damage buildings, they disrupt businesses, workers, deliveries, and the daily lives of regular people who have nothing to do with combat. What's making this story so significant isn't just the strike itself, it's what it represents. For much of the war, fighting has been associated with trenches, missiles, and cities near the battlefield. But now, the conflict is increasingly reaching places that millions of ordinary Russians interact with every day. Think about it. Imagine if one of America's largest online retail distribution hubs suddenly became part of an international military dispute. That's the level of disruption we're talking about. Ukraine's broader strategy has increasingly focused on hitting locations it believes support Russia's military infrastructure, even when those locations also have civilian functions. Russia argues that's exactly why these sites should never be targeted. And that's where one of the biggest questions emerges. Where is the line between civilian infrastructure and military logistics in modern warfare? It's a debate that military analysts, governments, and international observers continue to wrestle with, and one that's becoming more important as technology, supply chains, and warfare become more connected than ever. For now, both sides are standing firmly by their positions. Ukraine says these facilities support the war effort. Russia says their civilian businesses unfairly caught in the conflict. One thing is clear, this war is no longer affecting only soldiers on the battlefield. It's increasingly touching warehouses, supply chains, businesses, and the everyday routines of ordinary people. And as this conflict continues to evolve, the definition of what counts as a legitimate target may become one of the most controversial questions of the entire war. We'll continue following every major development as this story unfolds.